Conscious Leadership Podcast, the human side of leadership, where consciousness meets practical business leadership. The podcast dives into real challenges managers face, from team motivation to navigating change. Discover actionable insight, proven strategies, and inspiring stories to help you lead with clarity, authenticity, and impact. Whether you are an SME owner, a team leader, or simply passionate about conscious leadership, this podcast will equip you with the tools to build stronger teams, foster trust, and achieve sustainable success. Tune in, lead consciously, and make a difference. Hello, and welcome to a new episode of the Conscious Leadership Podcast, your dedicated space to rethink leadership, work, and your impact through a deeply human-centric lens. I'm your host, Boris Nedved. Today, I want to embark with you on a deeply reflective, timely and necessary conversation. What does it mean to lead from true presence in a world increasingly shaped by artificial intelligence? We are at an intersection where technology offers us incredible tools. AI promises productivity, optimization, and precision. It writes our emails, crafts our business strategies, drafts our marketing plan, and even evaluates performance. These tools are extraordinary, and they are here to stay. But here's a vital question we must ask. As our tools get smarter, are we, as human beings, becoming wiser? Today's episode is not a critique of technology. It's my call to leaders to recenter the human in a workplace culture that risks becoming overly mechanized, algorithmically guided, and energetically flat. Let's unpack why authenticity is not just a leadership trait, but a leadership necessity. Why connection will never be programmable, never be AI'd. And why the most impactful leaders of tomorrow are those who lead with consciousness and not code. I hope that by the end of this episode, you walk away not only with some insights, but with really some strategies to lead with your inner authority, to trust your body's intelligence, and to integrate AI without outsourcing your soul. The rise of AI in leadership and what we are missing. The pace of AI adoption is staggering. In just the last few years, we've seen ChatGPT become the default writing assistant for millions. Microsoft's Copilot redefines how teams collaborate on documents and spreadsheets. And predictive analytic tools enter everything from sales planning to employee performance evaluations. From scheduling optimization and market forecasting to onboarding and employee engagement tracking, AI is transforming how we work. What used to be gut decisions and hallway or coffee corner conversations are now becoming data flows and algorithmic suggestions. The temptation for leaders is real. AI appears to offer clarity, certainty, and definitely speed. It promises to remove ambiguity, to automate the heavy lifting, and to offer a clean, quantifiable path forward. And in a world where leaders are asked to do more with less, where decisions must be made faster, and teams are increasingly remote or hybrid, AI can feel like the salvation. But let's pause here, because here's the paradox. The more we automate leadership inputs, the more we dilute leadership presence. What do I mean by this? Leadership is not just about what decision is made. It's about how that decision is made, when it is made, and why it is made, and how that decision impacts the energy of the room, the team, the business culture, and so on. When we rely too heavily on AI-generated insights, we risk disconnecting from that crucial inner intrinsic intelligence, the felt sense of what's actually going on. We begin managing through abstraction, leading by proxy. And when that happens, we lose the subtle cues. A team member's micro-reaction in a Zoom window or the meeting itself, the unspoken tension after a big strategy shift, the drop in energy after a high efficiency but low empathy decision. These are things no dashboard will alert you to. No AI model is trained to capture soul-level dissonance. And just because AI can see the trends doesn't mean it can feel the trust. Leaders are becoming increasingly reliant on metrics as the single source of truth. But metrics are mirrors, not mandates. They reflect a piece of the truth, not the whole field. And here lies a deeper concern. Leaders who become overly dependent on the perceived objectivity of AI risk losing their innate ability to think independently, to discern nuances, and to integrate emotional intuitive intelligence into their decisions. The brain, like any muscle, needs exercise. When we offload complexity, we stop challenging our cognitive flexibility. When we stop attuning to emotions, we flatten our ability to feel. The cost is not just strategic, it is human. It erodes the very capacities that make us compelling leaders in the first place. And from my perspective, leaders blindly adopting AI fall into traps. First, they over-index on AI objectivity, assuming that what the machine recommends is inherently unbiased or universally correct. But AI outputs are never neutral. They are shaped by the quality of the data they are trained on, the framing of the questions, and the assumptions embedded in their design. Second, leaders are becoming numb to human signals. As technology minimizes the need for direct interpersonal engagement, many forget how to read the room, hold silence, or sense the emotional layers of a team dynamic. Third, and perhaps most critical, is the disempowerment of the leader's intuition. In handing over more and more decision-making to algorithms, leaders risk splitting their relationship with their own inner guidance. They begin to doubt their instincts, silencing the very voice that once sparked their boldest, most resonant moves. Let's be clear. AI is a tool. It's not the truth. It's a pattern aggregator, not a pulse or energy reader. If you are a conscious leader, your competitive edge is not your speed or your scalability. It's your presence, it's your field, it's your energy, and the ability to stay attuned in moments of uncertainty, to notice what others miss, to choose the path that feels aligned, even if it doesn't yet add up on paper. Because at the end of the day, leadership is a relational act. It's energetic, embodied, dynamic. It's about generating coherence in chaos, meaning in noise, and safety in speed. And if you want to stay human in a machine-powered world, you must lead from the inside out, from our inner core. This is my call though, not to reject AI, but to reclaim authentic attunement as the core of conscious leadership. So let's zoom out, pause, and ask a fundamental question. What makes a leader truly powerful? And I've just talked in the last episode about the distinction between a manager and a leader. Is it their access to real-time analytics? Their ability to optimize performance using dashboards and metrics? Or is it something else? Something deeply human? Something irreplaceable? For me, the truth is, leadership is not just about performance. It's about presence. It's about holding the invisible structure that a team organization relies on when things get uncertain, complex, or emotionally charged. In an AI-driven landscape, where almost every output can be automated or accelerated, The only thing left that cannot be outsourced is a leader's authentic, energetic signature. It is your unique way of perceiving, guiding, feeling, and inspiring. Authentic leadership isn't a style. It's your energetic state of congruence. So let's unpack this further. True leadership is felt before it is understood. You can walk into a room and sense who is grounded and trustworthy, who listens deeply, who inspires through integrity, not just charisma. This isn't measured by IQ or performance reviews. It's relational intelligence, a blend of emotional, somatic, and intuitive awareness. The challenge we face today is that most organizations were not built to recognize, reward, or protect these forms of intelligence. They reward speed, clarity, decisiveness, and certainty, all of which are easily mimicked by AI. But what AI can't offer is soul, presence, and lived experience. Authentic leadership reveals itself in the moments where something unseen is sensed and addressed with courage. It's the leader who notices a subtle misalignment in a project, even though the status updates appear all positive or all green, and then makes the bold decision to pause and recalibrate. It's the manager who catches a flicker of hesitation in the team member's body language and gently asks the question others avoid. Are you really okay with this? And it's the CEO who, when presented with a highly profitable strategy, recognizes that it undermines the company's cultural integrity and says no to it. Not because the data says no, because his and the company's values do. These are not algorithmic moves. These are somatic decisions based on a deeper field of awareness. And this is where energetics insights of quantum physics, human design, BG5, OC16 offer so much clarity. At the very basic level, they show us already that everyone is unique. Builders needed satisfaction, not just success. Advisors require invitation recognition. Initiators need their freedom to kick off new things. As I said, this is a very basic level of what can be seen in charts and the information. And when leaders override these energetic mechanics in favor of linear optimization by AI, they create subtle misalignments that lead to burnout, resistance, and disengagement. And aren't these the signals that we constantly see in management and leadership statistics? Just as a side question. Authentic leadership invites a different rhythm. It respects the timing of clarity. It recognizes that every person has a unique decision-making process. It doesn't force coherence. It waits for it. And here's the paradox. In slowing down to lead from your authenticity, we often accelerate trust. Trust builds when teams feel seen, not just for their outputs, but for their essence, for their being. That are heard not just in performance reviews, but in their daily energy, in their daily doing. And are aligned not just in words, but in the purpose. You can't AI your way into coherence. You have to be the coherence. In the near future, the most trusted leaders will not be the ones who master tools the fastest, but the ones who remain the most human in the face of machine-driven momentum. So if you feel that inner pull to slow down, to feel more, to lead differently, listen to it. That's not a weakness, that's wisdom. Your unique, unparalleled wisdom. I guess you agree with me that we are at a very distinct moment. Artificial intelligence is no longer a futuristic concept. It's embedded already in our meetings, emails, hiring processes, and leadership evaluations. The workplace is undergoing a massive neurological upgrade. But for me, the question is, are we integrating AI in a way that empowers or disempowers the human spirit? To lead consciously in this transition, we need more than just technological proficiency. We need what I call hybrid intelligence, a powerful fusion of AI, the artificial intelligence piece, the logic-driven data-based engines, EQ, the emotional intelligence, which shows the relational, empathetic, intuitive radar, and HQ, the heart or human intelligence, I call it, the core of authenticity, integrity, and your soul. These are not competing forces, they are synergistic. But most leadership paradigms are skewed heavily toward AI, underdeveloped in EQ, and nearly blind to HQ. So let's redefine the model. Hybrid intelligence leadership is the conscious integration of machine logic, emotional resonance, and embodied wisdom. It's the ability to let AI show you the patterns, let EQ help you understand the people, and let HQ guide your aligned response. In practice, it means you use your tools without becoming one. You analyze the trend and still trust your gut, your instincts, your emotions. AI, the analytical engine, gives us scale, speed, and predictive capability. It processes massive amounts of data quickly, detects anomalies, automates recurring tasks, and provides insights based on patterns and probabilities. It empowers efficiency and helps us see trends we might otherwise miss. But AI alone is cold. It has no capacity to sense discomfort, to recognize emotional friction, or to grasp the psychological impact of a decision. It will optimize a process while potentially traumatizing a team. Its precision lacks empathy. EQ, the relational compass, brings a completely different kind of intelligence to the table. Emotional intelligence allows leaders to recognize emotional dynamics in real time, understand the team morale, and build trust, belonging, and psychological safety. EQ picks up on the tone, on the micro-expressions, on the energy shifts. It's the unspoken layer that determines whether a group can thrive or cracks. It helps a leader navigate the tension with grace, diffuse potential conflict, and create cultures that people genuinely want to be part of. HQ is the morale and energetic anchor, and it's the deepest of the three. It embodies the why behind leadership. HQ is rooted in integrity, purpose, and groundedness. It trusts somatic knowing, that intuitive sense in the body that something is right or wrong, aligned or out of tune. HQ is what keeps decisions human. It doesn't just ask, does this work? It asks, is it right? Is it sustainable? Does it resonate with our truth? This is where conscience meets leadership. When all three intelligences are balanced and activated, you don't just make better decisions, you make more coherent ones. You lead not just with clarity, but with care. You follow data without bypassing dialogue. AI enhances our outputs, EQ and HQ define our outcomes. Leaders who over-rely on AI risk becoming detached, mechanical and reactive. They may delegate ethical decisions to algorithms, lose sight of long-term human consequences, and prioritize speed over soul. Those who rely on HQ may get stuck in emotional loops or avoid hard decisions. And leaders who live solely in HQ without anchoring in data may drift into idealism without action. The most impactful leaders of tomorrow will dance between all the three. Now the question is how to develop this hybrid intelligence as a leader. Developing hybrid intelligence starts with cultivating a new kind of relationship with AI, not as your replacement, but as your co-pilot. Learn what it does well and where your human leadership is essential. Approach it not as a commander issuing in orders into a machine, but as a conscious collaborator with a different kind of intelligence. Equally important is the art of embodied listening. In meetings, don't just listen to words, tune into the energy behind them. Pay attention to body language, tone, and what remains unspoken. Often, the emotional truth of a situation lives beneath the surface. To lead from true alignment, you must also map your internal compass. Tools like human design help you understand your personal decision-making process and more. Are you sacral, emotional, or intuitive? Knowing your energetic design helps you lead from clarity rather than confusion. Next, bring both data and energy into your feedback rituals. When you review performance, consider not only what the numbers reveal, but also what the experience felt like. Did the energy flow or falter? Did momentum come with ease or friction? And finally, don't let your schedule be filled only with doing. Anchor your calendar in coherence. Block times for stillness, reflection, and group sense making. These intentional pauses create space for EQ and HQ to rise alongside AI. The future of leadership isn't digital or emotional. It's integrative. It's the combination. And AI is already shaping the what and the how. But leadership lives in the why and the who. When leaders integrate hybrid intelligence, they don't just adapt to the future. They shape it. They become architects of a new culture, one where logic, love, and leadership finally work together. So what can you do now? Theory alone doesn't change organizations. I know that, you know that. Practice does. So let's move from awareness into action. If you are a leader, team manager, consultant, decision maker in any capacity, this part is your invitation to integrate everything we've explored so far. Because conscious leadership isn't a philosophy, it's a practice. And the more machine augmented your work becomes, the more your energetic leadership hygiene matters. So let's break it down into actionable steps that build your hybrid intelligence muscle and restore your internal authority as a leader. Step 1. Reclaim your inner authority. Many leaders unknowingly operate from external referencing systems. They wait for data, dashboards, or the next AI prompt to tell them what's true. But conscious leadership demands that you first ask, what do I sense? What do I know beneath the noise? Here are some possible practices you can build in your day. Start meetings with 90 seconds of silence. Invite participants to land fully in their bodies before the meeting starts. Before key decisions, ask yourself, is this a clear yes, a clear no, or a not yet? And if unclear, wait. Don't force the decision. Reflect daily on when you trusted your gut and when you overrode it. And what was the result? Clarity doesn't always come in charts. Often it comes in the quiet, in the silence. Step 2. Redesign your relationship with data. Data is powerful, but it's not prophetic. It's not all. Many leaders have unconsciously deified data. They treat it like the god. But remember, AI-generated outputs are trained on what's been seen, what has been there, not what is becoming, not what is the future. They reflect the past, not the emerging potential. Some practical ideas. Pair every KPI with a KQI, a key qualitative indicator. This might be team energy, relational health, cultural tone, whatever. Use dashboards as conversation starters, not your final answers. And ask regularly, what is the data not telling us? What does the human pulse, the human energy, the human field say? Step 3. Create space for energetic check-ins. High-functioning teams aren't just productive, they are coherent. This means there's emotional, psychological, and somatic alignment. AI can't feel this, but you can. Some practical ideas for your consideration are: open team meetings with a quick energy round. How are you arriving today? In one word. Use tools like Human Design, BG5, OC16 to better understand how individuals process, assimilate, and contribute to the business, to the team, to information, to data. And celebrate both outcomes and energetic alignment milestones. For example, we made a clear gut-based decision together. Wow, great. Step 4. Anchor weekly reflection loops. You can't lead consciously if you never pause. Without pause, we react. Without pause, we respond. Possible practice might be: schedule a 30-minute reflection block each Friday or any other day. Use journal prompts like, what did I lead well? Where did I bypass my instincts? What energized me most this week? And do a weekly alignment scan. Am I feeling satisfied, respected, free, peaceful? Step 5. Start small with sacred disruption. You don't need to redesign your entire operating system and your processes overnight. But you do need to create micro disruptions. Disruptions that nudge your leadership into resonance. And you might use the following practices. Say no. No to one decision this week that doesn't feel aligned, even if it looks good on paper. Replace one AI-generated output with a human conversation. Ask your team, what do you need more? What do you need more of to feel real here? What do you need less of? These practices don't just change how you lead. Over time, they will reshape your team's energetic field. They will create an office culture where stillness is valued as much as speed. Wisdom is welcomed alongside data, and authenticity becomes the performance metric. The more you model in alignment, the more your team will trust their own authority. And when teams trust themselves, you don't just get better execution, you get empowered evolution. It's built in the flow. So start with resonance, and the results will follow. Here's your call to action. Not to do more, but to start leading differently. To be the coherence amidst all the complexity. To bring humanity back into the heart of your decision making, your team's decision making. Because your leadership is presence, grounded, attuned, and real, and it's the most advanced technology in the room. No AI can do that. We're standing at a historic point in leadership. Never before has technology advanced with such velocity and volume. AI now composes all the emails, summarizes meetings, recommends promotions, forecasts behavior. It's faster, cheaper, and more scalable than anything we've seen so far. And I've intentionally left quantum computing aside for the moment, because there's even more in that. But with that speed comes an equally powerful undercurrent, the disconnection from self, from our body's intelligence, from our team's and emotional temperature, from the energetic pulse of the business. The deeper risk isn't just being replaced by AI. It's being replaced by a version of yourself that is numb, performative, reactive, disconnected from your purpose. And this is why authenticity is not optional. It's the only viable foundation for meaningful leadership in the years to come. And here's the opportunity that most leaders miss. When you bring energy awareness into leadership, you don't just change how people work, you change why they work. When you view your business not just as a structure of roles and responsibilities, but as an energetic ecosystem of unique humans, everything starts to shift. Meetings become field of resonance, metrics become stories waiting for context, and conflicts become clarifying opportunities. Your next level leadership is energetic, not just strategic. Using quantum physics and correlated tools like human design BG5 OC16, we gain a profound blueprint of the intrinsic energetic makeup of individuals, teams, and group dynamics. And these aren't just personality profiles, they are maps of potential. By seeing stakeholders not just as a functional task holder, but as an energetic being with a specific design, you create a leadership environment where purpose is personalized, collaboration is coherent, and results emerge through resonance, not resistance. If you are a conscious leader, or if you are a leader who wants to be more conscious, this is your moment. Now you can step up. The world doesn't need more optimized operators. It needs the orchestrators of alignment. It needs people who can see the invisible architecture of human energy and bring it into conscious, intentional form. You're not here to fit into the algorithm. You're here to reveal the authentic pattern that only you can lead from. And don't just lead with strategy. Lead with your design, lead with your energy. Start viewing your leadership, your team, and your business through the lens of energetic intelligence. Begin to ask, where is energy flowing? Where is it blocked? Who in my team is trying to lead in ways that aren't aligned with their design? And if you don't know where to begin, that's where I come in. Let's map your leadership through quantum physics and human design. Let's decode your team's dynamic. Let's give purpose a deeper root system and resonance a measurable reality. You can visit humaninthecenter.com to schedule your free one-on-one consultation or team review. You can take the quiz to reveal your stage in conscious leadership. Because the future of leadership is not just automated. For me, it's attuned, it's energy. And the leaders who learn to listen, sense, and lead from alignment, they are not just surviving the AI era, they are redefining what it means to lead. So, until the next time, stay intentional, stay conscious, and keep leading with purpose, from the inside out. Thank you for listening to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. Look forward to the next episode to come, and stay intentional, stay conscious, and keep leading with purpose. Until the next time, bye.